Welcome back, everybody, to the Gaithersburg Midseason Showdown. We are in top 4 now, and we're going to be having our first match of top 4. We have Owen going up against Steven, who we just saw on stream. Steven, the top seed, with Owen being the 4th seed. So Owen using a Lunala, Xerneas, Tapu Lele, Lucario, Smeargle, Incineroar, and while Steven, we just saw his team, but we'll go over it again for you guys. We have Kangaskhan, Tornadus, Kyogre, Amoonguss, Incineroar, and Xerneas.
It's fun to see close to a day 1 Ultra team rounding out the end of the season. Owen is running the popular Zernala from the beginning of the season, replacing the Crobat with a Smeargle. Solid 1-to-1 switch there, honestly. I don't even mind that. Interestingly enough, he does not have a Mega Evolution on his team. Unless, actually, the Luke could be a Mega. Never mind, I take that back.
Yeah.
Luke is the Mega. I forget that that Pokemon does anything. Whereas Steven is running the Zernogre masterfully like before. However, this time, Steven Mia has been handicapped with his current placement in the PC as well. So now he's playing both.
Oh, he's playing 2 games at once.
He's playing 2 games at once, and you know what that does. It messes with your senses. It scrambles your mind, and you're not sure what to do.
But Steven going for
Well, he knows how to lead Torn Zern.
Yeah.
He does know that.
He does know how to lead Tornadus.
Incineroar Lunala coming from Owen. Probably a strong board for Owen. It's important to note that he can't really do anything to stop Kyogre's damage. If he doesn't set up the Xerneas, the way he deals with Kyogre with this team type is to set up the Xerneas early, potentially psych up the boost with Lunala, something along those lines. If he can't stop the Xerneas, or the Kyogre from doing damage with his own Xerneas, he's going to really have a hard time.
Yeah, especially since this Lunala, like you said, is carrying Psych Up.
We don't know that.
Okay, well, presumed Psych Up. If that is the option that this Lunala is going for, then it most likely does not have something like Wide Guard, which can inhibit a potential Kyogre. The Kyogre's water moves and stuff. We're just going to see turn 1 fake out here, as we're going to see Xerneas just go straight for the Geomancy here. We'll see if Owen is reading into this play and potentially just going to go click that Psych Up button turn 1, or if he's potentially just going to try to get some damage off with a Moongeist Beam here.
Yeah, I kind of want to see Owen potentially take the knockout on the Tornadus. If he has Psych Up, go for it. In a subsequent turn, potentially not let Tailwind go up on him. Instead, he does go for the Tailwind of his own, trying to match the Tailwind coming out from the Tornadus, but still having to deal with the +2 Xerneas outrunning both his Lunala and his Incineroar, even despite the Tailwind.
Yeah, Xerneas still going to be the fastest thing on the field here, and Tornadus too, to a degree, if you factor in Prankster. So yeah, Steven can easily match this Tailwind here due to that Prankster ability. And with this +2 boost here, I mean, Xerneas not going to be taking a whole lot of damage from that Lunala, but there is still the possibility that there could be a Psych Up on the other end.
No
but
Tailwind coming out of the Tornadus.
Yeah, interestingly. We're going to see the Z move here, the Menacing Moonrays Maelstrom.
First one we've seen so far today.
I think this is the first Lunala we've
First
seen.
Lunala we've seen so far today, honestly.
Yeah.
It's been Evil Tall City, so allowing this Lunala to make it to top 4 is really just a statement of the Swiss matches.
Yeah.
We'll see what the target is for the MMM, but
It's
it goes
gonna
into
be
the
that Xerneas.
Xerneas. Probably doesn't do all that much damage, honestly, and leaves the Lunala vulnerable to the Tornadus, which did not go for a move boosted by Prankster. Probably getting a Z move into Lunala after the Moonblast chip.
Yeah, potentially with that Shadow Shield being broken, that
Just
could
take a clean knockout.
potentially, take the knockout into that Lunala here. We'll see how much is... Oh, is that a critical hit?
That's a critical hit.
That is most certainly a critical hit. Wow.
And
very
that Xerneas
fortunate.
was set up. Now it's not. Xerneas has taken the knockout. A very calculated play.
Very calculated critical hit there.
The Tornadus is slowed.
Is that another crit, or does that just die again?
It just died.
Tornado's just immediately deleted from the game, too.
Okay.
What a turn for Owen. What an absolute
unpacking.
turn. Yeah. What an absolute turn what that was. That's really all I have to say. That was a turn of Pokemon that we just played right now.
So it's good to know that the Incineroar...
Yeah, it's good to
The
know that
Incineroar on Owen's side of the field outruns the Tornadus.
His last name starts with a W.
Oh, right.
And Tailwind. So, that was funny. So the... I'm sorry, guys. That was a really funny turn.
That was just some silliness that took place there.
So the Incineroar outruns Tornadus on Steven's side of the field in Tailwind, and is apparently a monster of physical offense.
Yeah.
Taking the hard knockout on the Tornadus after fake out chip. Steven does not love that happened. I cannot imagine that he's happy with it, but we do still see potential victories out of Steven. The water moves coming out of the Kyogre right now are really strong. Tailwind came out of the Lunala. We often see like Psych Up or Tailwind or Psych Up or Psyshock out of the Lunala, so it's possible that there's no wide guard. Steven protects his Amoonguss against the Lunala and the U-turn from the Incineroar, thinking that, and just taking a really strong double knockout with this Water Spout, showing that he didn't need a Xerneas to do damage. He still had his Kyogre, and preserving his Amoonguss' Focus Sash, presumably.
Yeah.
By protecting there. It was a really strong protect coming from Steven.
So Owen just went from having the best turn in the world to a very, very subpar turn, because now what you have in the back here is that this Amoonguss is likely carrying that Focus Sash item, right? So if Tapu Lele decides to attack into the Amoonguss, it's not going to score a KO here. But I still think Owen is in a decent position here, especially since Amoonguss' Protect has been burned already. So if you were to just double it with a, let's say, Dazzling Gleam and Psychic or Psyshock into that
But
Amoonguss.
even if he does that, the Water Spout still would probably knock out the Tapu Lele.
Yeah.
The Amoonguss on Steven's side of the field is not going to get knocked out this turn in one hit. If the Lele is Scarfed, it can Magic Room, sure, but then the Xerneas can't kill the Amoonguss. And if it locks itself in the Psychic, which it seems to be doing, going before the Xerneas on Steven's side of the field, on Owen's side of the field, putting the Amoonguss down to its Sash, a Dazzling Gleam at best to knock out the Amoonguss. Dazzling Gleam comes out. Water Spout could still do a sizable amount of damage. Probably does not get the knockout on the Tapu Lele with that Water Spout.
Yeah, that chip damage being very, very crucial here. But we'll see how much it does. Of
Water
course,
Spout
not full health.
No.
Yeah, definitely not going to get the knockout on either of these two Pokemon.
The Tailwind has petered out, so in case Owen's Xerneas is slower than Steven's Steven's Kyogre, we could see Origin Pulse go before the Xerneas Moonblast and still get a double knockout out of Steven. It really just depends on the speed stats of the Pokemon.
Yep, but we're going to see Xerneas is going to be faster, and with that Moonblast, that is going to be Game 1 going to Owen.
So, Steven's probable reaction to that game is, I'm not going to get crit again.
Yeah, that seems like the best game plan.
Just don't get crit.
Just don't get crit.
Admittedly, that
really
was really
unfortunate.
funny.
Yeah.
I don't like to poke fun at what was probably an infuriating turn, to have the Xerneas set up at +2 and to just take the knock. But that was a really funny turn.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
It's not. It was funny because of the game. It wasn't funny because of what somebody did. You know, that's just Pokemon
and it
for you.
just went.
It just
from hero to zero so
disappeared.
quickly.
Like what was going to be a very valid win con just became immediately just dust.
I don't even see the need for Steven to make an adjustment. I like the 4 Pokemon that he brought. I don't think Incineroar is super needed for the matchup, and we see Steven clicking his buttons really quickly. It is significant to note that Steven did not bring either Fake Out Pokemon to stop the Xerneas from setting up a Fake Out, or setting up a Geomancy, but he might have looked at it and said, you know, with the Tapu Lele blocking Fake Out, the Lunala being immune, the Lucario having Inner Focus, and my Kangaskhan not doing that much damage even to the Lunala, it might not be worth bringing these Pokemon, instead opting to set up his Xerneas in front of Owen's Xerneas, and then trying to put out the damage that way, using his Kyogre to win in the back. Untimely critical hits are everyone's doom. Are these the same leads?
No. Owen led Lunala,
Incineroar. Oh, and there was an Incineroar Xerneas. Okay.
Yeah. So now we see Amoonguss plus Xerneas going into Owen's Incineroar plus Xerneas here. So just a contest of fake outs here.
Well, no.
Contest of Geomancies is what I meant to say.
Owen will definitely be able to get the Geomancy up this turn first, but if the fake out from the Incineroar stops Steven's Xerneas, then there's always the risk of Spore.
Yes.
If the fake out hits into the Amoonguss, which it likely will, they both just match Geo, and then Steven still has his Amoonguss to redirect the Xerneas. So I kind of think that Steven gets the better of this exchange. Though Owen's Xerneas did Geomancy first, it shows that there has to at least be a speed tie, or Owen's is faster.
Yeah, We're likely seeing that Owen's Xerneas on the faster side. I can't remember exactly how fast the Xerneas is, if Steven has made any changes since that team report he published. I believe it is on the faster side, but I'm assuming that these Xerneas Lunala teams usually run very, very fast Xerneas.
They want max Xerneas of sorts. They can psych up their own Xerneas right next to it.
Right, so I wouldn't be surprised if Owen takes the better end of any potential speed ties, or just moves faster for the entire game and for general.
Do know that Incineroar on Owen's side of the field has at least 91 speed because it outran the Tornadus on Steven's side of the field in Tailwind, assuming that the Steven's Tornadus had max speed. So it's likely to take a +2 Moonblast and faint as a result of it.
Yeah, we interestingly did not see the Rage Powder coming out from Amoonguss here.
He probably wants to get a Spore off, which is fair. Flare Blitz going into the Amoonguss, though, most likely to get the knockout. The Xerneas on Owen's side of the field has moved before Steven's Xerneas twice in a row. Still potential speed tie, but more evidence to suggest that Owen's is faster. The Xerneas, Steven went for a harder +2 Moonblast against the Xern. And now he has a live fake out right now, which is really strong for him, for Steven. Because he has more of a chance to prevent the Xern from going for a turn, getting the damage that he wants, maybe faking out the Xern Incineroar, and getting a Moonblast on the Xerneas to prevent a Dazzling Gleam Flare Blitz to a KO against the Xerneas.
Yeah, because if you fake out Xerneas here, you prevent a hit going into your Pokemon from another +2 Xerneas. But if you fake out the Incineroar, you also prevent an option. We still don't know exactly what fourth move option Owen is running on this Incineroar.
No fake outs.
Yeah, so we get no fake outs here. Just a Dazzling Gleam coming out here. We see another Moonblast from the Xerneas going into the opposing. going into the Incineroar this time.
Fair because
with that chip damage, is not quite enough.
Oh, so we see it's a fast assault vested Incineroar of sorts. That Flare Blitz at -1 does in fact get the knockout on Steven Xerneas. Not what he wanted to see. Flare Blitz knocks out the Incineroar. Did its job. Blitz. Happy to have that happen. Roar coming out of the Xerneas on the Incineroar side of the field. I don't know. I think Steven was really counting on that Moonblast knocking out the Incineroar.
Yeah, because he still would have had his Xerneas for this turn.
And now the Kyogre's out. I think this is looking like Owen's game.
Yeah, because I think if you're Owen, you still have the ability to deal with that Incineroar, despite having you still have Tapu Lele in the back. So Moonblast likely able to pick up the Incineroar from here. And if you're Lunala, well, you're obviously faster than this Kyogre, based on what we see.
Z move on it.
He also does have the Z move available.
Yeah, I don't see how Steven's Kyogre can.
Yeah, it's just looking like a really rough spot for Steven here, as Owen seems to have all the momentum going into this last turn.
Yeah. Steven really just did not want to see that Moonblast. He was just reading the Dazzling Gleam damage and thinking that the Moonblast would pick up against the Incineroar, and unfortunately it did not for him.
Yeah.
Had he realized that it might not have knocked out, he probably would have gone for a fake out to prevent some sort of damage, get the damage that he needed to have happen, and Steven just sees the writing on the wall, goes to the forfeit, and that was a quick 2-0 victory for Owen Wright.
Yeah.
Going to finals in under 15 minutes.
Yeah, really quick set. Surprisingly quick set there. I don't think either matchup, or like the matchup in general, was very tilted towards either side. I feel like each side had the tools they could need to win the game, but Owen making it look easy, even though it did not seem like an easy matchup. Of course, Steven, one of the best players in the country, one in the North America region, so not an easy task taking a 2-0 over such a skilled player. But really congrats to Steven. He's performed really well this weekend at both the locals here. Actually, no, he did not do very well yesterday. Well, okay, he did. He's still top 4. Top 4, pretty good. But yeah, congrats to Steven. Owen will be moving on to finals, and with that, we will be moving right into the next top 4 match in just a couple of minutes. So the players set up, and we'll be right back.
All right.